The warning left her lips like a fragile thread in a storm, and the storm did not listen. The convoy rolled forward beneath a sun that burned the desert white, engines growling, tires crushing gravel, flags snapping against armored doors. She saw what no one else saw, the faint glint on a distant ridge, the unnatural stillness of a broken window in a ruined farmhouse, the silence that did not belong to this road. The general waved her concern away with a stiff hand and a colder stare. Seconds later, the world exploded into motion, and only her silent shots stood between life and catastrophe. If you believe in kindness, courage, and second chances, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, Bright Hearts, to support stories that remind us what humanity looks like under fire. Her name was Captain Elena Vance, 32 years old, lean and sharp-eyed, with sun-browned skin and dark hair braided tightly down her back beneath her helmet. A thin scar crossed her left eyebrow, a reminder of a past mission that had nearly ended her career. She had earned her place through years of discipline, long nights, and relentless training, but to many in command she was still the quiet observer on the edge of the room, the one who spoke rarely and only when necessary. Her strength lay not in volume but in precision. She noticed patterns others dismissed. She listened to the spaces between sounds. And that morning, as the convoy prepared to cross the most exposed stretch of road in the province, every instinct inside her tightened like a wire pulled too far. The convoy consisted of 8 armored vehicles transporting medical supplies, food crates, and 47 personnel to a remote village cut off by weeks of unrest. Dust rose in pale clouds around them, drifting like smoke. Children from nearby settlements had once waved at passing trucks on this route, but today the road was empty. No dogs barked. No farmers stood in fields. The air felt paused, as if the land its. Her shot was nearly silent compared to the roar of engines, but its impact was decisive. The figure in the window collapsed backward before the rocket could fully clear its tube. In the same motion, she pivoted slightly, scanning the ridge. There, a second glint, lower this time, concealed among jagged rocks. Another controlled breath. Another precise squeeze. The second threat fell before firing. A third silhouette emerged from the scrub closer to the road, attempting to adjust a mortar. Elena shifted angles, calculating wind, distance, the convoy's movement. Her third shot rang out in the thin desert air, and the mortar shell rolled harmlessly into the dust. The general's command vehicle screeched to a halt. Soldiers dismounted, taking cover, weapons raised, scanning for additional danger. But the ambush had been orchestrated around surprise, around the assumption that the convoy would not see it coming. The synchronized strike that was meant to trap them in crossfire had unraveled in seconds. What could have become a massacre dissolved into scattered confusion on the ridgeline. Reinforcements were called. Drones were launched. Within minutes, the immediate threat was neutralized. Only then did the weight of what almost happened settle over the convoy like a second wave. Medics checked each vehicle, confirming no injuries. The soldiers who had been laughing minutes earlier now stared at the farmhouse in stunned silence. The general stepped out of his vehicle slowly, dust coating his boots, his expression stripped of authority and replaced with realization. He walked toward the rear where Elena remained steady, still scanning through her scope in case the silence tried to lie again. He said nothing at first. He simply looked at her, at the calm focus that had not wavered even after 3 life-altering shots. In his eyes flickered something fragile, regret, perhaps, or humility. Elena finally lowered her rifle and removed her helmet. Sweat dampened her temples, but he